Anyway, you may just not be like me. In my all entire life, I have never accepted to be disrespectful with this underdog's person. But when you just allow any person to always rate your identification became who you are, this is when every time you will want to make any steps in your life, every time you will want to make your life to the next level, you will always experiencing this type of negative people in your surrounding environment. Me and my wife, we used to argue with so many topics, so many subjects because we weren't on the same page. So this disagreement we used to have with my wife, I sometimes used to think that maybe this is because she doesn't like me, she doesn't love me. But as long as I keep now having so many conversations, as long as I keep developing and improving my skills, communication skills, I started seeing that this is common things happening to every one of us. Now, these are the same strategies I'm using just in order to make my communication highly effectively in my all business and the activities I'm doing in the everyday life. By the way, why are you not communicating well in your relationship? First of all, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, you are a negotiator. Maybe most people, we used to think that negotiators are those people who are just in sales, but even if you can just look into your normal life, this kind of life we used to live, we are negotiator. Because when you approach someone, when you are dating someone, when you want to convince the person to go to move the place, to buy some stuff, when you want to have a conversation with your spouse, when you are now asking your friend to go with you somewhere, to travel abroad, all these activities we are doing, it is all about negotiation. This is why instead of letting these things, instead of just be responsible about your life, just ask yourself, am I a really good communicator? Am I really communicating effectively? Then how do you know that you are now communicating effectively? Like long time ago, I used to have disagreement with my friends and my colleagues because I didn't know how to negotiate. Negotiation is all about very big topic, is all about understanding. But you may just be ask yourself, what does it mean? What does it has to do with what does listening has to do with communication? I will give you an example. Before you say anything, before you answer, before you respond to your opponent, to your partner, to your boss, to your customer, to your seller, you have to first of all understand what the person wants to mean. Because not everyone will just understand what you are meaning. You may find maybe you are just negotiating. In other words, you are now trying to shout each other. You may find another case, you are now trying to negotiate and you are now making disagreement. This is what you call people can even listen to you, understand you in a long way. They can bring this misconception, this misunderstanding. You say something, the person is now getting another things. Why? This is why, just in order for you understand and makes your relationship very stronger, you have first of all to learn how to listen. What I learned in life, the most secret of communication is all about to organize our mind. Learn how to communicate with yourself first. Before you just learn, before you start now becoming worried too much about any person around yourself, learn how to communicate with yourself first. I will give you an example. Like 10 years ago, I had an accident, but this accident was just normal accident, like it was not a big deal. But what really caused me to make this accident, the number one trigger, it was all about ignoring the voices inside myself. This type of voices we have, I think every human being has this voice. So the level of communicating with this voice is different. If you have never take your time to listen very careful who you are, you will not know how to communicate. You not know how to work with them. If you are not the guy who are just very quiet guy, you will not know how to communicate with these voices. You have to first of all to learn how to communicate with them. So when it comes to communicate with any person, a stranger person, you have to learn some tips, some tactics of communication. There is so many books all around there which can show you to do the things. But first of all, know that these things is existing, is there. The truth here, if you are now struggling in your relationship, whether it is romantic, it is business, or it is casual relationship, you are struggling because you don't know how to listen. You don't know how to communicate. So no wonder why people are starting now rejecting you. People are now starting escaping you. They are now trying to disappoint you. Not because you are angry, not because you are not smart, just because you don't know how to communicate. Then how can you learn that? Learn through practice, learn through repetition. I say this because there is people who are just out there. They know this secret. They know that communication is a this core period they need to engage to start becoming in their life. But they don't. They are now just giving so many excuses. They are saying, I don't have this public to practice this communication. I don't have these people to communicate. Communication even in your home, even with your spouse, with your kid, with your children, with your friends, all those type of communications, conversation is all about communication. So instead of waiting this right moment, this right time, just start where you are. Start with the people you have. Communication is a very vast topic. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. So the more you can now transform a stranger person into this friendly person, the easier communication is like to be. This is why instead of saying this person doesn't want to listen to me, this person, no. If you want to get attention from that person, show them that you really understand what they are saying. Show them that you are in the present moment. I cannot tell you how many years I've been trying to pretend that I'm listening, and yet I was just naive. I was just absent-minded. The things you want, the things you wish for, communication is just everywhere in this life. If you don't want to learn how to communicate, everything else is going to be messed up. It's going to start now destroying your life. Not communication is all not about is all based on these people are just in sales. Just communication is just this common life, this normal life we are living today, this 21st century. All these things we are living is all about communication. So this is how I changed my life. This is how I improved my life, not because I was smart, not because I was just genius. It's all about surrender. It's all about understanding the meaning of your life. Life doesn't have meaning. Nothing in life has a meaning except the one you give it. So people may say life is like this, life is bitter, life is struggling, life is painful, but you don't have to agree with those opinions. It is their opinions. Remember that every one of us, we have what you call filter. We use a filter when you are going to make a decisions. We make a decision based on how we're feeling inside, not based on the logical things, not based on this comparison things. When you can control how you feel inside yourself, then the world outside, this the external world, is going now to start taking care of it itself. What you need to do, first of all, be who you are. Control yourself. Learn how to communicate with yourself first. Be who you are. Believe in yourself. Be patient. Be consistent. The things you want, your life will now become better life because of you've now learned who you are. The secret of achieving so many things in this life is all about self-awareness. Discover who you are. Every time you know what you are looking for, you are going to get it. You are not going to waste so many time with this shining object. You will learn how to say no. You will learn how to say yes in the right time. Nothing wrong with saying no and saying yes. Just use it wisely and in the right time. Then the things you are looking for are going to start now coming step by step in your life. Until next time, stay healthy.